Hey fam, so today I'm going to be dehydrating some oranges and I have a few other citrus over there. So the first thing you're going to need is a dehydrator. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can use your oven and you're going to set it to the lowest temperature that you can set it to. But I'm using the Vivo Home. I have a 5-tray dehydrator. You're going to need a mandolin. If you don't have a mandolin, then what you're going to do is going to slice your citrus even and kind of as thin as you can get them. If not, you can make them thicker and they'll just take longer to dehydrate. So let's get started. Let's put this back. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut. Firstly, make sure that you clean the skins of your citrus and that is small enough to fit in your mandolin. Okay. Okay, so I cut the ends off of all of our pieces so that we can get the most out of our cuts. Okay, so as you can see, and we don't want to waste any of this. We're going to put this in our compost. You can put this in your waters or teas or anything like that. And we're just going to slice them on our mandolin. If you're orange, grapefruit, or lemon, sometimes lemons can be very large. You might want to cut them in half before placing them on your mandolin. So the reason why we want to use a mandolin or to get them cut into some kind of uniform is to keep the drying time even. Okay, so I've done the oranges. I'm going to set my dehydrator at, I want to do 140 degrees, and I want to set the time for about 14 hours. You want to do anywhere from 12 to 14 hours for citrus. And the lower that you set your temperature for and the longer you set it for, the clearer your fruit or your citrus are going to come out. The higher the temperature, they will start to turn brown. So I'm going to start it. And I'm going to start with my first tray. Now you can paper towel them to get them a little bit drier, but I don't. I leave them just how they are, and it kind of starts. Look how perfect that slice is. If there's seeds in it, leave it. It's fine. We're going to lay them to kind of not overlap, but it's okay if they do overlap, because if you come back and you check up on your fruit, you can kind of move them around a little bit. And then the little pieces like this can fit in our little grooves, just like that, to use all of our space. I run my dehydrator almost all day. Once one round of things finish, let's see if I can set this back, I'm ready to put something else. Like you can use like little leftover pieces from your veggies that you kind of cut off. And yeah. All right, so let's go on to our next tray. Now in your oven, you can use parchment paper. You can use, they do have special dehydrating sheets that you can use. As you can see, I'm kind of just like gonna wiggle a little bit of the juice off. I don't dry them. I did dry them one time and they turned brown on me, and I'm not sure. Just having that little bit of juice helps. Now, I have mixed things before, different items, not just like I've done apples and pears. I didn't find that the flavors blended onto the other items. So feel free to use all of your trays, even if they're not just with the same item. Okay, so there's the lemons and the limes. See how the lemons have the seeds? They're perfect. Just set them on there. The zest smells so good. Now to our limes. Okay, this is our last tray. Camera up a little bit. Now, since I have a little bit left on my tray, I'm going to put the top pieces if they are small enough. Sometimes the top pieces kind of are a little too wide. But they will dry perfectly as well. They're just going to take a little bit longer due to their thickness. Now, I check up on mine Okay, that's full. I check up on mine throughout the day. I usually will start, you're gonna put your lid on there. I usually start my dehydrator before I go to bed. And then when I get up, usually it's like a couple more hours on it. And I can check some of the pieces that are already complete. I just take them out. So we're gonna push this back a little bit. The next step is you're gonna wait for them to be done, but then there is a conditioning stage. So if you can see these are some grapefruit that I cut and they're dried. What we're looking for with drying, meaning when they're done, or dehydrated when they're done, you don't want any stickiness, none, no stickiness at all. They're going to be hard. Sometimes they're crunchy, sometimes they're rubbery, but you don't want to feel any moisture. Okay, so these were cut with a knife. These are some lemons that I cut with the mandolin. Now see, this is the same size as those I just cut, and there is a difference. If you want them thicker, you're going to use your knife. If you want them thinner, these were about 10 hours. These were about 16 hours. But these right here are very, very pretty. Okay? So after you've let them sit for a week, 5 days, 4 days, however long, this is the conditioning period, and you see there's still no moisture, you're good. You can package them. You put them in your mason jars. You put them in your packaging that you're going to put, your Mylar bags, however you want to store them, and they're good to go. They're good to go for years. I would say 5 years. I don't know, but that's just from what I have looked up online and in books. So these right here are good for your ice water, your lemonades, garnishes, scents, potpourris, anyway, many, many things, okay? So these are going to take a minute to finish, and when they're done, you just will know when they're done. If they aren't, like, so if you take them out and you've let them sit and they're still sticky, or your mason jar packaging looks a little moist, stick them right back in here. Stick them right back in here. And they will get to the period that you want them to be. And then they're perfect for storage. This goes along for basically all of the citrus, most of the fruit that I have done. I have some tomatoes over there in my mason jars and all of those things. But basically this is what you're looking for. Tough. Just like that. I will do a follow-up video on these when they're done. I'm starting them pretty late in the day. But what you're going to also do is during the process, if you're seeing how your trays are set, and these up here are drying or not drying as well. Actually, you can see how they're already started. Can you see the change on them? If you see that your trays are kind of like one tray is doing better than the other, maybe because of how they're laid, blocking the air from coming up, you just take this off, switch your trays around, just like that. Put this tray on the top, and then you can get a more even cook. Well, not cook, but a more even dehydrate on your items. Yeah, so they're gonna look very nice and gorgeous. Your house is gonna smell like the best ever. But yeah, that's it. These are the finished products. Wait, let me go grab some limes for you. Okay, so here are some of my packaged limes. See how they came out perfect with no browning. Also, I have some lemons here. No browning. Created the same way. And I actually sealed these up about 2 weeks ago. I let them condition. They're perfect. Sorry, my hands are wet. Yep, perfecto. All right, thanks for watching, fam. I love you so much.